Hello, this is Grace chatting, and I'm the founder of Relationship Academy, where we teach you lessons that they didn't teach at school. And today we're going to be talking about ego states. Now, it's a tricky one. Some of you may know about ego states and some of you may have never heard of it before. And it's a concept that's known in transactional analysis, written about by Eric Byrne. He was the founder of transactional analysis, and he talks about ego states. And it's a little bit tricky to explain, but as I go, it will become more clear. What are ego states? Well, everybody goes in and out of several different ego states in the course of any given day. So the three main ego states are parent, adult, child. And everybody goes in and out of those, well, certainly parent and child in the course of any day. And the parent, you'll see here, parent, adult, child, that's how they're kind of denoted. It's about feelings, thoughts and behaviours that you would associate with how your parents behaved, or your caregivers, or people around you who influenced you when you were young. So it's ways of being that you would take on from a parent, and I'll say more about that in a moment. Adult ego state is about thoughts and feelings and behaviours very much in the here and now, and what's happening in the moment, and not actually influenced by anything in the person's history. And a child ego state is feelings, thoughts and behaviours that are influenced by our childhood. It's kind of behaving in ways that we might have done when we were younger. So looking at a bit more about the parent, you'll see here there's several expressions, and they're the kind of expressions that you would associate with a parent. This is the way we always do it. People should always, you must never forget, and do I make myself clear? Now these are all you can see how I said those things, that I had a particular expression, I had a particular tone of voice, my body language was kind of quite stern, and it's the kind of behaviours and non-verbal communication that you would associate with a parent. So often in the course of life, at work and at home, we will often find ourselves talking in that tone and in that manner. Adult, you'll see that these two folk here, they're kind of not particularly parental looking, and they're not particularly childlike looking. They are just adults being adults. And here we have three images of children. The first one over here, you'll see that there's a fairly stern looking mum, and there's a little girl who's kind of, I don't care, I'm not doing it. She's kind of in what we would call rebel. These represent three different aspects of the child ego state. So we've got a rebel who is responding to a strict parent. And in adult life, our day-to-day life, if one spouse talks to another in a parental manner, they may well get a rebel child who's, well, I'm not doing it, I don't care. Not really very helpful for either party. The little lad in the middle here, he's got his hands up over his face and he's looking a bit distressed and not very happy, and the caption here is, "Oh, not again." That's a little wounded child, and sometimes when a couple, one or other, is being parental, the other one would go into wounded child or anxious, frightened child, like, "Oh God, I'm going to be told off, I'm in trouble, what's going to happen?" And there's an anxiety about. And it may be that the other party isn't aware that they have evoked that state in their partner, or maybe they did it deliberately. Some people do. And here we have what's called the free child, the carefree child, the one who kind of is, feeling happy and carefree, and, "Oh, I hope I get a bike for Christmas or my birthday. Oh, I wish we could go to the park." that kind of manner and attitude is the free child. Now this is really good and healthy in a relationship, you know, a couple relationship. If you get two people in their free child, then they can go off and have adventures and have fun and have a nice time. So that's really nice. But the wounded child and the rebel child, it's not really good to have them evoked, you know, unnecessarily. So it's just to draw your attention to it. And you'll see that as I was talking through each of these aspects of the child, my tone of voice was that of a child, and my expression and manner was childlike as well. So they're the three states that people go in and out of in the course of a day. So this diagram represents, you know, the parent, say for your average couple of John and Jane, if this is Jane and that's John, the parent can be controlling and authoritative, you know, I know the best way of things and this is what you should be doing. And as we saw, that evokes the child, either the wounded child, the rebel child, or the free child. I didn't say about the adapted child. The adapted child is the child who does the right thing, does what he or she thinks he should do so that he'll please the parent. And that often operates with couples where somebody may not be wounded or rebel or free child, but you know they live their lives just trying to please the other party, but they're not being grown up. Conversely, you can get someone who stays in child a lot of the time, who you know, a lot of people will be you know, constantly sick or poorly, or I'm not feeling well, and they're evoking the parent. They're trying to get a nurturing parent in their partner, and they may well do that, but it can become a way of life for some people where they are just constantly relating to each other as parent and child. A bit of nurturing parent is good between any couple towards each other, but the authoritarian and controlling parent will often evoke a rebel child or a wounded child, and it's not very healthy. What you need to be looking for is to have a bit more adult to adult. That's what grown-up relationships are about, rather than between parents and children. So I hope you've grasped that. Some of you who are watching this, because often when I'm working with couples and I talk to them and show them this, they just look at each other and they say, yeah, that's what we do. And they actually take turns at being parental with each other or behaving like rebel children with each other. And it's not helpful, but they don't know that they're doing it. So I'm guessing a lot of you who are looking at this video don't know that you've been doing that either. The answer is to talk to each other about it, acknowledge that you both do it, and look at how can you get into adult to adult a bit more often. So a useful thing would be to look at what are the times and situations when you go into parent or child ego states. Which of you is most often in parent? Which of you is most often in child? And what can you both do to spend a bit more time adult to adult with each other? I hope you find this useful. You can always watch the video again, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson. Bye for now.